Hello and welcome everyone to Loud and Proud Orlando. It's Thursday, August the 8th, 7:48 p.m. Thank you so much for being live. We are upon a new game coming up this weekend, Friday. Well, tomorrow actually, around the same time. The Lions are going to be hitting the pitch to face a Mexican powerhouse. Definitely a team that's gone hot and very cold in certain decades. I think right now their current form deserves for us to definitely keep tabs on them. They're very good. They're a very good opponent. Cruz Azul, La Máquina Cementera Cruz Azul. Very interesting. Right now they're top of the league in the Mexican league right now, and clearly they wanna be the team that finally beats an MLS team, right? And here in Leagues Cup. So it's going to be interesting on how Orlando is going to handle such task. Both teams come with a lot of momentum. They come with two players that they came back from the under 20s, two Mexican prospects for the national team that are very good players. Apparently, they're gaining two of those. And they also have two players with injuries. We'll discuss all of that and more today, going deep against Cruz Azul. John, how are you, my friend?
Good, buddy. Excited to be here and talk all about this big matchup that we got here in Leagues Cup tomorrow night. And let's see how we line up against a bigger, more difficult opponent than we've seen in a while.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be definitely interesting to match up against them. Today, we're going to be previewing Cruz Azul today. We're also going to be talking about the knockout round matchups. Who do we think it's going to go through? Who are the potential? If we beat Cruz Azul, who are our potential opponents? And summer transfer news. There's some news regarding some summer transfer news, some golden nuggets. So let's talk about that a little bit later on. Drop us your comment. Subscribe to the channel. Drop us your thumbs up. And anyways, John. So what are your expectations coming up this game here against Cruz Azul?
I think it's going to be a difficult test. I think obviously they are, second, well, in Apertura, definitely a top team in Mexico, one of the biggest teams in Mexico. They've got, some really impressive players and guys like Giacomakis and Rotondi. A lot of talent on this team. Definitely a big step up from San Luis, a step up from Montreal. I think if we look back at our games recently, New York is like one of the biggest teams that we come up against recently, and I would consider Cruz Azul much better than them. So I think it's going to be a real test for us. I'm thinking that there's no better time than to play a team like this when we're on a hot streak like we are, and we've got Enrique playing as he is, and Ojeda, and all of our pieces really performing well in this squad. So I'm hoping that means we're going to be able to match up well against them, Luis. But it's going to be, I think, one of the biggest challenges we've seen since this team really started to play well. Oh, you're muted, buddy.
No, I was gonna say this is a team that right now is coming with high momentum, especially in MX, the top of the table. They're coming in a winning streak as well, just like we do. It's a team that in history it's been on and off, right? I mean, they had historic wins and they've had really terrible botches. I mean, they are probably the team that botches the most. They call them
They're like the
they
Tottenham of Mexico. They're up
correct.
there. They just
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
win it. They
They
don't get
choke.
any trophies. Yeah, like Arsenal, like in the Premier League, kind of can't get over the line, kind of thing.
Yeah, so right now, a lot of the fandom is really pissed off, on Giannumakis, and that's something that I will say. People from Orlando City, they were looking for a striker, and he's not happy in Mexico. I will lure him to Orlando because he's a phenomenal striker, but he's really not having a good season so far. People are complaining about his fitness, his lack of goals. He's going through this drought that he cannot get out of, and it's going to be interesting how this Mexican team is going to face Orlando City. I think Orlando right now, and I do want to say this too. If y'all are going to leave spaces completely butt open in the stadium, this is a team that has one attendance record last year. They have their attendance record last year for Liga MX, and this year they're coming up second in attendance record, right below Chivas, which is one of the best teams there in Mexico as well, alongside America. So they can definitely. There's definitely Cruz Azul fans in Orlando. So those seats that that you're gonna leave open, that they're gonna be taking. We're gonna see a lot of blue jerseys in a sea of, hopefully a sea of purple. We're gonna see a lot of blue jerseys, right? So I command everyone to follow the rules in the stadium. Do not get into fights, because we've seen it in Copa America, right, John? Sometimes things can get a little rowdy. I was actually watching some videos of some Cruz Azul fans a little earlier coming up while I was at work. And guys, sometimes if they lose, they get upset. That's all I'm gonna say. So they're really not good losers. That's that I've been researching on. So either way, interesting game. Let's read some comments real quick. All roar no bite, says Stream Jesus. Also, Yakumakis isn't clicking well with Cruz Azul. He's literally a Muriel on that team. We play Tigres and handle them with ease at home. This is going to be easy. There you go. Cruz Azul is a very bad team. As a Mexican, says Stream Jesus. Well, now we know Jesus is from Mexico. I didn't know that. They didn't teach me that in school. I'm just joking. Joshua told Pedro had a great.
Isn't it Stream Jesus then? Not Stream Jesus?
Yeah, no, Jesus. Yeah, that's right. Pedro had a great game, and hopefully he has another great game. We must cover them at all costs. It says Joshua Tall. It says, I think we will need to score at least a few goals to have a good chance at winning. We will also have to defend well. It will be interesting with no Kyle Smith. It says YouTube isn't working. It says kill, kill, kill. Well, I don't know what's going on, man. Anyways,
I think because we started a little late. Sorry about that. They might have been waiting for us to start. That's all. That was the first comment, so maybe y'all were waiting. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. But anyways, what aside of us getting the win, so far in this Leagues Cup form, John, do you see what are some of your positives? What are some of the keys that you would say it would be key for us to in order for us to impose our game and to Cruz Azul? I mean, what do we got? What do we have to do in your opinion?
I mean, I think we need to be aggressive with pressing, and we need to have our midfield. I think the double pivot here is key. That I went back and was watching what happened with Philly and Charlotte and their two ties with them. They have a lot of building from the midfield there. We need to close down Rotondi. We need to close down Giacomakis, and a lot of that has to happen with our 2D mids. If we're not getting in their face, if we're not pressing, if we're not, stepping up to block them, that's going to be a problem. We can't sit back too much and give them space. These guys have got good enough talent to hit long range shots. They're going to look for the overload. They're going to try and counter attack quickly. These are all things that, very similar to how we play, I would say, is what they're going to try and do as well. So we have to be the protagonist. It's like Oscar's always saying. We can't let them dominate and dictate play and own the possession. We need to make sure that we are, on the front foot and pressing and doing the things that we've been doing recently. And when we do get the ball, we need to make sure that we're using it well. We're, building play, getting up the field, and when we do get the chances, we need to take our chances. If this is a team that we don't take the chances against, they're probably going to get a few chances themselves and score, one or two. So let's make sure that we get a couple goals ourselves early and really squash them any chance of getting a late goal against us and winning this game.
It definitely. I mean, the size difference when it comes to our backline is going to be key as well. I think we have a taller backline than they do. And I do want to say and reiterate what John just said about the double pivot. I think the D-Mets need to be on point. I mean, I think that us regaining that confidence in the mid, I believe it's what has made Orlando so successful in the past few games, and is the first line of defense, right? So it makes the back line not. It's not. It's not to say to worry about it too much, but just to do their job and not do double duty, pretty much. So right now, CRUZ Azul has one of the best midfields in the MX, and Orlando City is going to have to, Cartagena and Araujo are going to have to, keep them in check. Now, I do want to say, and something that maybe, you know, um, John has not mentioned, but we're facing a Mexican team, and they are going to be very vocal. They're going to be talking out the ass. Sorry about that. No, but it just came out. They're going to be talking. They're going to be using this, right, to upset you. So you fall and lose control and get a yellow, even a red. So Cesar and Wilder have fall victims in the past of losing their cool in key moments. And this is a team that is going to try to do that to you. When there's a foul close to the box, they're gonna fall like it's Neymar. That emoji from Neymar rolling on the floor. So it's gonna be like that. A lot of time wasting, a lot of delaying the game. I bet there's gonna be 8 or 9 extra time minutes, in my opinion. So we gotta be ready for that.
Just talk what you're saying there, Luis. Watch this from the Charlotte game. It all kind of broke out here.
Yellow for Barnacle. There's no need for that detail.
You see right there. You see that's.
There's no need for that. With that saturating humidity, things have heated up here just past the hour mark.
I mean, the ref gave like 2 yellows after this and 2 reds. But if you're listening, basically the Charlotte and the CRUZ Azul players get into a full like pushing, shoving match. The ref has to go over to the bench. Like he goes over to the bench in a minute and gives out red cards to both of the coaches on both sides. I don't know if he just lost the ref and started these Leagues Cup refs. Who knows what they're doing? But there was definitely enough tension there and a lot of kind of fighting and what would you call that, Luis? Just stupidness, stuff we don't need.
It's like unnecessary banter. You know what I mean? It's like
trying to get under your skin, and
yeah,
we have
yeah,
to watch out for that because that is something we're
yeah. Because look, imagine Jansen, imagine Wilder, Pedro, even, right? So they gotta understand that's what they're going to try to do, because Orlando's gonna try to impose their game. They're playing at home. They're playing with their crowd. They're gonna try to move the ball around. They're gonna try to do their game. When they feel a little cornered, that's when those tactics are going to start coming out. When they feel like, and this is common in Mexico, very common. So that's something that they gotta be mentally like, hey, if they want to throw a punch, I'll throw myself on the floor, because this dude's gonna get the red, and I'll take a little knock, but I'll get up and continue playing. The other team's gonna be with 10 men, so you gotta be smart, not just fall for those tactics.
We did okay at that. I mean, we obviously Kyle fell for the foul to give away the red, but we didn't like lose our heads completely against San Luis. So we need to make sure that we're not going to do that again against CRUZ Azul.
Kill says any breaking news and rumors later on. You should stick around. Jeffrey O, excited for this one. Both teams will go out for the win. Hopefully, there's a good turnout for this game. I'm expecting it's gonna be a little better turnout than the last one because it is Cruz Azul, so there's gonna be Cruz Azul fans coming either way. Stream Jesus, can all we agree that Araujo is a spicy little fella? That's right. Oh gosh, this Cruz Azul being a team time wasting and diving stuff like that. SMH says Joshua Tall. Please, Cesar and Wilder, keep your cool. David Albury, what's going on, everyone? Ramos, vamos Orlando. Let's keep the wins rolling. There you go. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Yep. So today, there was Orlando had some training, and we could definitely see. Kyle won't be present of the game, but he definitely had to train. We see Rodri, Ivan, Ramiro, which to me, I don't know what you think, John, but to me, another big important part of this team is Ramiro Enrique. The one goal every 117 minutes. He scored a goal in 6 consecutive matches across all competitions. It's Orlando City's record right now. He's doing amazing. We need to keep that train going. I think that's going to be one of the definitely key factors in attack for us to definitely get a couple of goals. Don't you think?
I mean, our attack is
Yeah.
more informed than theirs right now. Like, you could argue that they maybe have a more expensive, maybe better attack, but I think ours is the one that's scoring all the goals. Like, obviously, not only is Enrique in form, but Facu's been scoring recently. Ojeda's, really playing well and clicking with the team, and Gulo. So I think our whole front four is dangerous at the moment. And as long as we back that up with some good defense, I think one thing I would say is the San Luis game, we weren't really clinical. We did leave some chances out there. And, even with 10 men, we had chances and we didn't take them. And so we really need to be able to, like we have been before, like Montreal game where we just took all of our chances and we won. That's what we need to do here against Cruz Azul, because they're going to be harder to make those chances, and they're probably, like I said, gonna have some themselves. So we got to make sure we take ours.
I definitely predict Oscar Pereja wearing white, and I predict Ramiro Enrique starting over Duncan Maguire. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Hey, Lewis, come on, dude. Like, Duncan is our boy, man. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy." But right now we gotta go with the hot hand, John. We can't. We can't.
No way you can bench
We
Enrique
can.
right now.
Right.
He's on track for a record, and I'm down.
So Ramiro has made buzz in Argentina. That a lot of people are selling smoke about Ramiro now. I saw this on ESPN Argentina. They have a little section about Argentinians abroad, and then they mentioned Ramiro. They mentioned briefly Ramiro from Orlando City, and
Ojeda?
No, Ramiro Enrique. Enrique.
No, they didn't mention Ojeda.
No, they didn't
They
mention
want to
Ojeda.
mention Rodrigo Schlegel. He doesn't make the news in Argentina.
No. Ramiro did, and they're comparing him to his dad. So
that's gonna happen to the poor man.
Yeah, so his dad was he's a big famous player in Argentina. He played with Maradona in the world. He was the guy who gave him that pass in that famous goal that he did.
Yep.
Right. So yeah. So yeah, I know you're not too fond of that
goal. That's not a goal, but whatever.
With VAR, that would have not count though.
VAR, he would have been sent off with a red card, 3-game ban. One hopes.
No, but there's now they're pushing the hype. They're saying, "Oh yeah, Boca Juniors should look at him." I don't know why is he playing in America. This guy was saying, "Oh, River Plate. He should definitely play in River Plate."
Because we took the time to nurture him, Luis.
Yep. We waited for him. We waited for him and gave him the opportunity. that's Oscar's job right there. And
Ramiro just green card Ramiro is not going anywhere.
he ain't going
is
anywhere.
very happy right here
Yeah,
where he is.
he ain't going anywhere. But people start selling,
Oh
selling
yeah.
smoke, like they
Yeah.
say. So, anyways, you wanna well, there's some news about Cruz Azul. So
Yep.
the news about Cruz Azul are mainly they are getting back two of their. We put a video on LPL that I did. Essentially, pretty much, it said that two of their under 20s of the Mexican team players that are very important in that lineup are coming back. Essentially, you have Mateo Levy and Amaury Morales. Now Mateo Levy, according to what I have here, is they are midfielders, and there's also a defender. So I mean, they're getting some of their players back. They don't think they're gonna be in the bench more than likely. But it's going to be two important pieces that they're getting, and also they have two injuries. They have Gabriel Fernandez, which is their center forward, the Uruguayan. $3 million, according to Transfer Market, is what he costs. He's definitely missing this game, and also was another guy. Hold on, I forgot his name. I have it right here. Yeah, no, it's just Fernandez. Yeah. Oh no, and Carlos Vargas as well. Yeah, Carlos Vargas. So Carlos Vargas and Fernandez are gonna be missing out of the. Now Carlos Vargas is the starting left back. So they're gonna be without their starting left back. They're gonna be without the Uruguayan striker. So it's gonna be Giacomakis pretty much. Giacomakis is gonna command their attack. They feel confident on Giacomakis, but the fans are not, according to what I've seen from Mexican media. They don't like Giacomakis in Cruz Azul. No?
I mean, this was their lineup last match. They played like a 5-back.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be the same.
Is like a left wing back, really aggressive up that left side. Giacomakis paired up top of Rivero. I imagine it'll be something similar. Piovi was another one. A good center back, very good center back, top player for them. So we got to watch these wings. We got to watch the overload on the wing backs coming up.
Faravelli played in. I believe he played also in Independiente del Valle in Ecuador. I remember seeing Faravelli, phenomenal midfielder. He's kind of like Facu, very crafty. He knows how to, he has a really great left foot. Set pieces. He was very dangerous for Independiente del Valle in Ecuador. He played Copa Libertadores. He went to the final. So I mean,
they did only draw 2 games so far. There is that to say. As much as I do think they are a good team, they're not. I mean, they drew to Charlotte when, they did get a lot of chances. They're just not taking them. And then I think Philly, they were more likely to win. But the end of this match, Luis, they made did you see the horrific mess up they made in defense? So this kind of gives me a bit of hope.
Yeah,
here.
I was gonna talk about that. I was gonna talk about
Luis
Romo. No, I was gonna talk about, actually, that you mentioned that. I was gonna talk about how Luis Romo plays, but play it.
Okay.
I think it makes sense.
So I think this is this is after the goal. So let's kind of go back a little bit here. So just a casual back pass to the keeper, and then all of this ensues.
Yeah. What a huge save that is to keep the game. Just plays it through Lowe's legs. Great.
Here we go.
Chasing in his own end, plays to the keeper Mier. Adeniran pressuring.
Come on.
Couldn't find the handle. Taken half clear by the Union. This ball played across the air. Struggles with it initially. Quick shot, goal! Tie and goal by the Philadelphia.
So if you're listening, it's just a series of errors here at the back. By they make the back pass and the goalkeeper lays it off. It's a bad pass. The one player, I don't know who is that. POV just air kicks
POV, yeah,
makes the ball completely, and then you've got a real problem situation. And they even have time to recover from that. Philly gets into the wide position, puts a cross in. The goalkeeper fumbles it right in front of the net. And really, all of this could have been prevented, right, Luis? I mean, this is them shooting themselves in the foot. So is this something they've been doing a lot recently, do you think? Is this something that we can potentially see them making some errors like this? Because this was
their backline is pretty slow. And, I think
it looked like Spain in the World Cup against Brazil,
correct. And so that's when Orlando needs to definitely do what they need to do what they've been doing the past few games. They got to do what they've been doing the past few games. Just that pressure. They're pressing in attack when the other team has the ball. They're pressing them, and usually Duncan is a 9, but you see everyone in there running for the ball. That's what we got to do, and they're gonna lose it. They get a little bit I guess flustered, with the ball, and then they commit the stupid mistakes right here. And look, I wouldn't say that Philly was like super pressing them hard right there. They just gave it up like that.
And not only that, it was this error after error. They didn't recover it all well. So I think if you're, like you said, they got a slow back line, Luis, that's something. Then they went to penalties, and the goalkeeper managed to make 2 saves, and they scored all 5. And that's how they ended up getting the 2 points out of this one. But they didn't actually, in regulation time, they didn't beat Charlotte or Philly. So maybe they're not as hot as we are right now. Luis, you want to do a lineup for this one, or you want to do? People can watch the press conferences if they go on our YouTube if you haven't seen them yet. Dagger and Oscar.
I haven't uploaded it yet. But
we will upload that soon.
Yeah, we'll upload it sometime today.
Yeah, but until then, let's talk about lineups, right?
Yeah, sure. Let me see here for Orlando. Let me see.
Joshua Tall says, I hope Orlando City presses tomorrow. Definitely.
Yeah, they got to press one.
Jesus says, breaking news, CRUZ still sucks. Lol. I hope so, man. I hope so. Let's see. Predicted lineup for us, Luis. Pedro in goal.
Yeah,
seems
Pedro
like
Galese.
Place to start. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be Pedro. Pedro Galese.
Center backs.
Well, I think it's gonna be. We're gonna see Jansen and Brecalo. I don't know if Jansen will be back, but I believe Jansen, Brecalo, Santos, and Dagerdan.
Yep. Obviously, no Kyle Smith available for this one.
Right. Now, it'll be cool to see, other, some of the young people from OCB, maybe like, Thomas Williams or even Freeman, right? But I think in this particular game, it's pretty much a knockout round. You gotta put your A squad.
Yeah, definitely. Cesar and Wilder in there and D mid. The team kind of picks itself right now.
Yeah, Wilder. And then here it's going to be Angulo.
Yep.
Facu. And then we're going to see here Ramiro. Martin.
Ojeda.
Martino
Yep.
Ojeda, and then up top Ramiro Enrique. And I think that's going to be our.
Unless anybody can't play or any other reason, I would be shocked if that's not our
Now,
lineup.
clearly, it's going to be lined up as a 4-4-2, but the Martin is literally dropping down. Also, you could see, which it has happened. Angulo and Facu switching lanes in the middle of the game, or even Martin going to this left and Angulo kind of dropping back. So it's up to them three. They're really all three can play all three spots. So Oscar feels pretty confident in the three in the middle right there.
I think it's key that we press and that we try to be the protagonist and that we really try to put our, stamp on this match, Luis. I don't want to be
For sure.
I really don't want Oscar to come out, and I don't want to see any defensive tactics here. Honestly, I think that I will be frustrated. I don't think he's gonna do that, but
I mean, we can do
we are informed right now. We should play like the attacking, aggressive team that we could be.
Yeah, I mean, we could, or we can play 9-1-1.
I don't want to see it. I mean, either way, we'll light up like this, but I just don't want to see us sit too deep. I want to have a open game. If they're gonna hit us on the counter, fine, I'll take that. They're not, like I've said, we're the team that's finishing our chances right now. So, if it's gonna be an all-out goal fest, I think we'll win like 3-1 or something like that. What do you reckon, Luis, on result?
Well, look, I think that it would be a major bold statement for us to go through in this round. I think this team, yes, CRUZ AZUL comes with a good momentum as well, but Orlando's coming on an undefeated momentum right now. I feel very confident in this game. I think our attacking third is, like you said, being more incisive, more they're constructing more attacking plays than CRUZ AZUL's.
Yeah.
The fandom in CRUZ AZUL criticizes a lot of Yanumakis. They don't want him to be the starter tomorrow. They're upset that their striker that got injured, not going to play.
I would be absolutely delighted if Giacomakis
right?
played. I would be doing back play. I don't know what these guys are complaining about.
That's what I'm saying. If
just because he hasn't scored many goals,
if he's not happy,
talent. Make it work.
Like, Ben aquí.
For sure,
next season. But anyways, to me, I think 2-0 tomorrow, on Friday.
I could 2-0
Orlando. 2-0 Orlando City, and still undefeated. Hopefully making going to round of 16, and we may be facing an MLS team.
Quickly going back to the comments, Josh Rattal says, I'm glad we've done really good this tournament. The other day, I remember when we thought Otero would play, but Pedro has done great. Yep. Joshua says, who we play if we win? We're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
He also says, how have we done defending Giacomakis? I only remember like one goal against us when it was his time in Atlanta, but there might have been more. It's definitely not been like the Josef situation. Like, he did have a few games where he played well against us, but then Atlanta were a very good team with Almada and everything, So I think it's not as much of a worry. And right now, like we said, he's not. He seems to be struggling to find the net. So hopefully that's the Giacomakis that turns up and not the one that we've seen in Atlanta that can be destructive.
Sorry, Almada is playing in Brazil right now, and one thing I do for Atlanta fans is this year is their, they're passing around the the donation bucket, because they are loading up, they're stacking racks upon racks of all these sales they've done.
They got like 50 mil in the bank or something crazy.
Correct. To really blow and splurge next season. According to sources.
It's not like you can spend this. You know what I mean? It's not like you make a bunch of money. There's certain restrictions. You can't just like spend 50 million on players.
No, no, no.
easily
I'm not
as
saying the
that.
whole 50, but they're
No,
actually
yeah,
gonna try to bring somebody in the caliber of Thiago Almada.
yeah.
In the caliber of Giannumakis that
They're
he
gonna have
came.
to do something because the Atlanta
Yeah,
fans are not, they're not ones to be patient. So they're already rioting by the fact that their team has been decimated and they're not looking as good as they used to be.
yeah.
But we laugh at that and we're happy. So anyway, Luis, let's talk all about matchups.
Mm.
Everybody, it's kind of hard to see on this graphic. I don't know why they made this so like
I, I can
not
kind of guess. I can kind of guess who they are.
not set in stone, but so far set in stone for the round of 16, who's already through is Pumas and LAFC.
Okay.
They are through, but then the matchups that we've got going on to get into the next round, big ones, I would say. Obviously, there's Tigres, Pachuca. That's a pretty big one. Maybe Toronto, Miami. I don't know. Not so much. There's some interesting matchups, Luis. What ones did stand out to you? I think Seattle, Portland, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Seattle Pumas for sure.
Oh,
I
sorry,
know
that's
it's
St. Louis, Portland. My bad. Seattle
oh,
playing LA.
yeah. So Seattle playing LA Galaxy. I would love to see Galaxy against Pumas actually. And then I would like to see El Tráfico in Leagues Cup. That'd be cool. I'll say. You know, definitely the MLS has surprised the MX tremendously. The MX, the fans do not like the Leagues Cup at all. They're saying, they kind of feel like us when we have to play Conca Champions. It's like, yo, our season just started, man. Like, how are we interrupting our tournament for this crap? And that's exactly what they're saying. It's not fair on the players. And that's what we're losing against San Jose. That's some of the Necaxa fans talking. I was reading online. So I think it's going to be cool to see. I mean, if we go through against Cruz Azul, we will facing the winner between DC and Mazatlan. They're literally they're like copy and paste of each other, but just in two different countries, Mazatlan and DC. So we're gonna have to prepare to face either or. And I think, in my opinion, if we beat Cruz Azul, which is it's a big deal. It's like defeating Tigres. We're gonna be definitely on round of 16 playing against a team that should be accessible for us. Should and so we should go through to the quarterfinals. And then I like the matchups of Cincinnati. I think SAN is that a San
Jose.
San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Montreal, Philly.
Yep.
I mean, that's gonna be a good matchup right there. I mean,
I think it's if we get past Cruz Azul, it's going to be interesting to see who we get if we get through. I think probably Cincy will emerge out of that top 4 there between San Jose, Montreal, Philly, and Cincy. Probably Cincy. I can imagine if we get to that point, we'll be playing them. But first, obviously, DC or Mazatlan. I think we got a pretty good area of the bracket to be in, Luis, in order to get to the final, or get to the semis.
Definitely.
Sorry, so it may be in the semis we could face Tigres or Fort Lauderdale.
Well,
those are the teams Columbus would be the ones expecting to get out of that bottom 4 there on this bracket.
Oh yeah, so I think that's Santos. Yeah, Santos Laguna. So Cincinnati, Santos Laguna.
Oh, not San Jose. Okay.
Yeah,
Santos.
San Jose is right here. Yeah, yep. So, it would be cool to see Toronto go through against Miami. It'd be cool to see them go through. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're gonna have the refs against them, and they're gonna, everything. Yeah, so everything's gonna be tilted for Miami to take that one, but hopefully Toronto makes it happen.
But in terms of
Uh,
other big Mexican clubs, like Tigres could be, again, back to that old chestnut. We get to the semifinals, this against Tigres. That would be
you
epic. I would
imagine?
love to see that. So
That'd be amazing again.
Joshua Tall says Miami currently up 3-2. Yeah, some of these games have started already and been played and are going on right now. So
Yeah.
Isaiah Lopez says, I think it's Santos, not San Jose. I think the
Yeah,
San Jose is
Santos
SJ.
Laguna.
Thank you. I missed them over here next to
FC
Necaxa.
Juarez, unbelievable.
Yeah, FC
Against
Juarez
Colorado.
playing Colorado. Also, America Austin, I think, is an interesting one.
That's gonna be. I mean,
so I'm all for these Mexican teams getting farther in the tournament, man. I think that's the whole point of this. Like, if it just ends up being a bunch of MLS teams, it's not like, what are we doing
well,
here?
I think on the east side we're gonna see more MLS.
Yeah.
And on the west side, we're seeing more MX because I mean, you're talking about America. Clearly, America has the team to beat Austin. I mean,
also they get more of a home environment near Canada and Texas, right?
Correct.
And also, I think even this year, the West is still not as strong as the East in MLS, so it's an easier area for them to knock out some teams, I think.
Yeah. So right now, I'm looking at League Cup right now. So Inter right now is with 10 men. And they're winning 3-2. So it's up to Toronto right now to seal that deal right there. I mean, Pumas yesterday eliminated Vancouver.
Yep.
And LAFC beat Austin.
So it's America. ATS is Atlas. My bad, not Austin.
Atlas.
So
America,
Atlas. Yeah.
Oh,
these abbreviations. This is not a very good graphic by Leagues Cup, is it? Why don't we just have badges?
Yeah, Atlas.
Too many teams that abbreviate and really similar. Anyway, I think, Luis, it's going to be an interesting matchup against DC or Mazatlan if we get through CRUZ AZUL. That's what we got to worry about. The other thing that's interesting as well is that they do the stadium priorities, like home team priorities, based on your finish in the previous season of that tournament. So for us, obviously coming second in East last year means the only team that we in our kind of area of the bracket that if we come up against we would not be at home would be Cincy, who obviously finished first. Cincy, who just got rid of Papenza, by the way. So if you didn't see that news from Tom Bogert today. So Cincy, it could be an away matchup for us that we have to face. But it's, I think we're in a good part of the table, and I like our chances if we can get past CRUZ AZUL to then have enough confidence to take on anybody and get far in this tournament.
So Bunpensa got fired?
Bupenza, they got rid of him. They've had enough of his antics, so Bupenza's gone from Cincy. They've opened up a DP slot. So
we could reform him.
Do
you think we could reform him here in Orlando? Reform him a little bit?
I don't think so. The man never came back for he spent 2 extra months on international duty. Nah, I don't want that. These like him and who's the other guy, Reynoso. No, I don't want any of these players that can't be bothered to turn up to training and care more about their national team. That's some Alex Morgan type stuff. I don't want to have that over here in Orlando City.
It makes sense.
Anything else on this knockout, Luis?
I mean, it seems promising. I mean, it's gonna be tough once you get into the round of 16. So things gonna start a little tougher. I mean, I think for us, even if we face DC or Mazatlan, I mean, we should win that game. I think we got a really big opponent early. So, but the one that comes right after, we should definitely beat. And it would be cool to honestly face Tigres again. And, honestly, I would love to face, if Orlando does happen to go to the final, knock on wood. I would love to face America. Club America. It would be cool. I don't know.
Yeah. I think so, man. I mean, it's going to be some big games if we go far. So obviously the round of 16, then on to the quarters, and then the semis, and then the final. So we're 3 games away from a final, 4 games away from winning the whole thing. And I like our chances like anybody else. I know the national press, I've heard different podcasts around that all talking about that we are a contender in this tournament based on our current form and just, us being a good cup tournament like team. Don't underestimate. We saw what happened in the MLS is Back tournament. We saw what happened in Open Cup. Like Oscar, more than anything, is a cup tournament guy. So, he might not always have the best longevity across a whole season, but if he's coaching us while we're hot, we've done it before. We can lift a trophy or we can get to a final. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen here. Still not the biggest fan of Leagues Cup, but silverware is silverware, and Champions League spots more than anything, right? We get to the semis. I think we're pretty close to getting a Champions League spot. I have to check exactly how the rules work. But I think if we get third, we get a Champions League spot. So exciting prospect on the line there, being a Champions League team again next year. Sorry, Champions Cup team, I should say, Luis.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the new format of the Club World Cup is it's now a lot of teams, and Seattle actually is going to be facing like all these major teams like Real Madrid and stuff. They're all up for selection. So imagine Orlando being able to face, Barcelona, PSG, if they end up winning the Champions Cup at some point, I think it'll be, or the Leagues Cup.
Oh man, you're getting I'm excited now. You're
getting deep,
way ahead of yourself here, Luis.
No,
I love the positivity. I love the vibes. But let's start by winning the Leagues Cup, huh? I think that's a good place. Anyway, let's move on. You want to talk summer transfer news?
Definitely.
Some good things to share. All right, first one here. Duncan McGuire. I'm hoping you guys can see this. I'll make it a little bigger. Here we go. Duncan McGuire, some update on him. QPR have opened talks to sign Duncan McGuire on a free transfer once his current contract expires. This is inaccurate, guys, just so you realize.
That's a bootleg Chelsea.
This is not, like, there's a lot of reporting going on over in England. They think that Duncan's contract is expiring because of the fact that we have like extension years here, and they don't really do that in Europe. So there's clubs that think that he's going to be available in January and they can sign him on a free contract. No, it's not going to work that way. He's under contract till 26, the summer of 26, I believe. So, I do think that we will entertain the right offer, but stuff like this that's saying that he's available on a free, QPR maybe is a viable shout, but based on the rest of the facts in this being wrong in this tweet, it makes me feel like it's
QPR needs to.
Yeah, apparently Sheffield United are interested, and Blackburn. There's a lot of teams here that have been linked with him before coming back. He should
go to Fulham. Fulham with Tim Ream. Tim Ream
left, bro. He's gone to Charlotte.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he went to Charlotte. That's right.
But yeah, I think Duncan Championship could be the right move, like higher end Championship team, sort of like
higher end,
a West Brom, like QPR. I don't expect to be up there, nor do I expect Blackburn. So I don't think he should go to either of those teams. But there's other clubs that are shopping still. The window is going to be open for a little while longer, both here in the US and in Europe. So we'll see. We'll see whether I think it has to be the right deal, like we've said a lot. We're not going to give him away for nothing.
Yeah, definitely not Blackburn Rovers. It could be
he's
Middlesbrough.
Not going out on a free to some random club. That's not
right. Happening. Cardiff City, they're gearing up. Leeds United, those teams are always. Norwich competing up top. So
we'll see. We'll see where he ends up. Duncan. There's a lot of there's a lot of those championship teams that are wanting to push for promotion or like get into the playoff places. And they'll go out and spend the kind of money we would hope on Duncan if he wants to go. I think more than anything, it just has to be the right club and the right deal. And I think he knows that as well. So let's move on and talk about more transfer news, Luis. One that we talked about on Monday. You want to go ahead and talk about this one?
It says sources Orlando could not agree a fee for Christensen for Northway Youth International midfielder Heine Gicklin Bruseth, 20 years old. And talks are now considered inactive. So they're saying, you out. I don't want to talk to you, bro. I don't want to talk to you. You know?
What do we think here? They want too much money, or are we not offering enough? What do you think?
Yeah. I think they want a golden egg. They want a Willy Wonka golden ticket, and we're not gonna give it to them.
I mean, we don't know, but sometimes in this scenario where you're the smaller club and you see a club like us, it would be the bigger club, maybe in this, and you come after a player that they rate highly, they might put a big price tag on him and say, we want X amount, and that's just not realistic for us. Like, the reason that guys like Dagger worked when we signed him is because you're getting them at a decent deal. We're not going to go out and spend 2 or 3 million on a guy like this if that's what they're asking.
Yeah.
So
no, plus Norway has not been into the World Cup, so I mean they're not.
I think it's you have multiple options when they're doing something like this, and you go after some guys, and sometimes the negotiations go well, and sometimes they don't. Right? We don't know all of the details, but Tom Bogert reporting that this one is kind of inactive. In the original tweet that we talked about on Monday, he did said that you could. He said that Orlando has other options as well. So Tom already lining us up, I think, for more news coming, Luis. That may be our second choice or our third choice.
Sure.
From I don't know. I'm guessing we're just trying to fill this U22 spot, is my guess, because regardless of what happens with Duncan, we've got that open and we've got some money in the budget to be able to do something with it.
No, I think look, this kid is. I don't know if this kid's is definitely a great prospect, but it has to be the right deal. It has to make sense for Orlando. Orlando has shown through the years that they're not a team that just spends for no reason. So, they want to do right. They want to do right on how they sign players, and I respect that. Plus, to be honest with you, I would rather get, and this is just again my opinion. I'm just anyone. I will get somebody that's hot in a different league, personally.
I don't know enough about this guy as to say what kind of role he was filling in the squad either, right? So was he going to be like a defensive D mid, or is he more of an attacking mid? We were not 100% sure. So I think this one we'll just say hardly knew you and move on, right? Let's here. I'm sure we'll hear more news very soon about another player.
Bye, Felicia.
These other options. A different piece of news.
There you go. I love that. I love those news.
Manuel Veth, who is the area manager for North America Transfermarkt and has 32,000 followers on Twitter. So I think someone that we can trust a certain amount.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this could be a viable source here. Manuel says sources. Yataro Sakata will sign a first-team contract with Orlando City until 2025, with options for 26 and 27. The 23-year-old Japanese winger has scored 4 goals and 4 assists in MLS Next Pro this season. So we talked about him a lot on the pod, Luis. You're, clearly happy about this, as am I. Your thoughts?
Phenomenal move by Orlando.
If it's true, I'll say that. By the way, this is not confirmed yet.
Right. If true, phenomenal move by Orlando. He's part of the Young Money APAA Sports. Lil Wayne is investing in soccer, and right now he's part of his agent is part of that. Is one of the guys leading that. And to me, I think he's a phenomenal talent. He's played already in the J League, J League 2, and he's been a prospect for Japan for many years. And he's done college here, and then we drafted him. So I mean, I think he's a phenomenal prospect. and you know he's done great at OCB. So to me, it makes sense. It's from the family. It's kind of the type of signings that we actually do commit with and do like to do, which is because he's from the own Orlando City system, you know. So he knows what it takes to defend the colors. So I like that, and he's a really phenomenal player that still has a lot to give, and I would love to see him in tough situations. Not so much playing for OCB. I would like to see him facing, I mean, I know it's gonna sound hard, but a little bit of a tougher competition right there. I think he has the accolades to do it. He comes from a league, from a country that I highly have high regard on when it comes to the sport. I think a lot of people overlook Asia, but what Japan has been doing the past decade in the sport, it's tremendous. And you could see it. You could see it in the World Cups. You could see it in the Olympics with the women and the men. So hopefully he's the next big thing for Orlando.
I mean, my suspicion, I don't know about this, but my suspicion is that there was interest from other clubs that were wanting to get Yutaro. Obviously, he was just under an OCB MLS Next Pro contract with the team. We signed him through the draft. We got him through the draft. We gave him an OCB contract. Maybe, they made, I don't know if they made promises about when this would happen that he become a first team player. But if other clubs start coming interesting and we want to lock him down, that might be what happening here. Is we're saying, no, we're going to give you a first team contract, multiple years. And that way we're making sure that, we're not going to lose him to another MLS team or wherever else that might be interested. Because I think this guy, like you said, Luis, could have a big future. He's a very good technical winger. We've seen just from the amount of time that he's had with OCB and the few minutes that he's got with the first team that he's got a lot of talent. So I'm hoping, Luis, we're going to see more of him this season and definitely more, hopefully involved in the first team squad going into 2025 as a permanent part of that and not just being called up occasionally from OCB.
Yeah, it's a player that comes from a youth system from FC Tokyo, which is one of the more up and up good youth teams in Japan. So he comes from that system, a system of discipline, order, tactical order. Sleeping till 9 p.m. and then waking up at 6. Like they're very organized. They take pride. Japanese soccer takes pride of that and how they, and so he comes from that, and he's done the college system. So I think it's a lot of good experience for him, and just getting him with Orlando, a team that already he kind of fell in love with OCB and the fans. I think it's a win-win situation for us. We don't have to look far for a player. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
For sure. So hopefully, like we said, not confirmed, but we're hoping this is a viable source, and this is going to be announced soon by the club that Yutaro will be joining us as a permanent first team member of the team. So I'm excited about that if it's going to be true, Luis. I think that's everything we had today. Do you want to anything else, Luis? Do you want to talk about Miami right now at halftime? Are losing 3-2 to Toronto and are down to 10 men.
So they're losing.
Sorry, they're beating Toronto 3-2 and they're down to 10 men. So maybe Toronto can come back in the second half with the man advantage. It would be nice for them to do us a favor and knock them out early. That would be great.
This is GoldTube TV says, when will I see you with that fire puppy Lucky Whitey? Says
I need to get one myself. Maybe we should all wear one of these.
For sure.
Maybe that's, yeah.
Stream Jesus, the Duncan Watch episode 30, the myth of QPR. Yeah, QPR is a Temu Chelsea.
The Duncan Watch never goes, bro. You know, it's been going on for over a year now. Duncan watch. It's just perpetual Duncan watch. So we'll
Yeah.
see, man. Maybe he won't go this winter, and
Maybe he decides to stay.
who
Or maybe
knows?
ends up going, and and then I ask fans, how are you gonna feel if he goes to Philly?
I mean, no. If he's leaving
John.
anywhere, no,
No,
he's
I'm just
good.
saying. What if he's like, hey, I just want to leave Orlando.
No, I'm not having that. You're staying here. You're going to Europe or staying here. You know, that's it, Duncan. Those are your
Yeah,
choices.
he has a he turns heel, and does a Hulk Hogan at Bash at the Beach when he turned into the NWO Hulk
I
Hogan.
don't know. Maybe it's a case, Luis, and this is something I've thought about. Maybe it's a case that he wants to be like a DP player and on that level of salary. And we just can't do that right now. But like if he's obviously still here come the winter window and we move things around and reorganize, maybe then we can offer him what he wants. And then this whole thing goes away and he's not going to go to Europe. But like I said before, I think it's more likely that he has ambitions to go to Europe
Yeah,
regardless of what we offer him.
no, I agree with you. I think he's gonna be going to Europe one way or the other. I think that's what he wants. That's his dream, right? So hopefully,
And we shouldn't stand in the way of that. Luis, tomorrow night, it's all going to be
yeah,
happening against CRUZ AZUL. Joshua Tall says, let's get them tomorrow. Vamos, Orlando. Yes, indeed. It's been a very exciting time here. Friday night, man. I mean, it's going to be cool. I think it's a good way to get back in. I'm hoping the attendance is going to be a bit better than what we've seen recently. I like you said, Luis, I'm worried that there's going to be a lot of CRUZ AZUL fans there. So let's make sure that we have enough of us to feel like it's still a home game and we're not it's some away game, please.
yeah, for sure. Come support the boys. We understand that not a lot of people like Leagues Cup, and you guys are within all your right of not supporting or supporting, but come support the boys if that's what you want to do. It's going to be a great game, and we need to show Chris Azul what we're all about here in Central Florida. And so, also make sure if you're listening to this, check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you drop us a comment and subscribe and follow us there on audio form as well. We're on X at LP_podcast, on YouTube at LP_podcast as well. Facebook, Loud and Proud Orlando, and also YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. That way you can get the alert that we're live. We also posted more of like a 3-minute video about some of the surprise players that CRUZ AZUL may be throwing at us. You can check it out. It's on there also. And the Pride Pod every Tuesday. We just had an episode of the Pride Pod yesterday. If you're into Orlando Pride and the amazing season they've had. And that's pretty much it, John.
Seb Hines, ex-Orlando
Yep.
City player, has just been renewed as
Amazing.
Orlando
Great.
Pride's head coach. So big, shout out to him. Obviously, it's great that he's like that border. He's the bridge between the two worlds, and we can be more proud of him. So, also, if you want to come check out the watch party we're having, there's not us, but the club is running a watch party, and Luis and I are going to go to it. It's down at American Social. Doors open at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. kickoff for USA versus Brazil. Marta, Angelina, Adriana, all potentially could be playing for Brazil against USA in a gold medal match. So I'm so torn, Luis. I don't know. I'm going to wear all my Pride gear because I can't wear USA or Brazil stuff. I'm just going to be neutral for this one. But I'm excited for that this weekend too.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Hopefully, I'm sure when the Olympians come back, the club's gonna make something special for them. And it would be cool also for Orlando City players to come check out the Pride, and because they're having a monster season. They're on the dawn of hopefully a championship. The first major trophy for the City Beautiful. Aside of obviously the U.S. Open Cup, but This is the league. So let's see what happens, John.
For sure. All right, everybody. Only one thing left to do, right, Luis?
That's right. Vamos, Orlando. Have a good one, guys.
Vamos, Orlando. See you next week.